Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Crypto, bringing you guys another video, and today, guys, I'll be going over my PSA Pokemon Showdown Association draft analysis video. And yeah, this draft, what can I say, man? It's definitely a little bit different than I would definitely normally pick. First, let me go ahead and start off by saying this was a NPL style draft. If you guys ever heard of the NPL, it's basically a point system. Well, the way they do it is a point system, and you have 120 total points to spend. And out of those 120 points, you can select either up to 9 to 11 Mons, and however you like to use your points. So after I go ahead and show you my Mons, I'll show you how much every Mon was worth and how much points I ended up using out of my 120. But anyways, you guys can go ahead and see my first 6 Mons on screen. I'll go ahead and explain everyone thoroughly, and then go ahead and give you an overview of the whole team altogether here in a little bit. But yeah, going into this draft, I ended up being the 5th pick in the whole draft out of 16 coaches. So my expectation coming into the draft was I wanted to pick up either Jirachi or Celesteela as my first Pokemon, and I knew either of those I probably could get a later pick on, so I was okay with that, and then pair it up with something really nice. I really wanted Zygarde in this draft, so that would have been nice to have, but I ended up getting the 5th pick, so I felt like it was a little early to pick up one of those Mons. I was looking at a couple things like Mega Latios and Kyurem Black because I know I had such an early pick and it would have been nice to get one of those. But Mega Latios actually went 3rd and then Kyurem Black actually went 4th. So right after that was me. And yeah, I actually decided to grab Celesteela even though I still feel it was a little early to grab. I really wanted it. I definitely wouldn't have got it if it came back to me. If I got it when it came all the way back to me, I would have been super happy with that. But at that point, I didn't really see anything else I wanted that much. Like maybe Zygarde, I still could have picked Zygarde there. But I want Celesteela even more because I've never used it in a draft league format. You'll see in this draft I've never even used any of these Mons in draft league format, which is pretty cool. I enjoy that a lot. But anyways, main reason I wanted Celesteela, I just feel like it's really hard to maybe not switch into, but it's really hard to like break down. Just considering its typing and coverage, it's just really solid overall. Can be ran offensively or defensively. Obviously, you can see the stats. Autotomize gives it options to run its speed very nicely, so it's nice there. It's a better version of Skarmory in my opinion. Obviously, you don't got all the hazards and all that, but move-wise, obviously, you guys can know what it pretty much does. It gets Acrobatics, Air Slash, its flying coverage and stuff like that. It gets Fly as an option if you run Z-Move Fly. Earthquake, Energy Ball, Giga Drain, all that good stuff. Fire Blast is all very nice for other steel types. Flamethrower and all that. Earthquake's very solid. Rock Slide and Stone Edge, a lot of people seem to forget about that. It gets Seed Bomb, stuff like that. Toxic's nice, obviously. Leech Seed Protect is obviously a defensive set, so gets a lot of different moves. I'm not gonna really go into like too many like tactics and stuff like I want to use for it this season, but you guys already know what the move slots and stuff are, so I'm not really too worried about that. And then like ability, obviously Beast Boost is really nice, especially if you want an offensive. Celesteela can be nice. You can maybe get some sweeps and stuff this season, so we'll have to see. Anyways, that was my first pick, picking up Celesteela. Move on to my next pick. And on my way back, oh my gosh, this is where my draft started going, like, I wouldn't say downhill, but this is where my draft started getting, like, out of way, and I was like, okay, well, fuck it, we're picking everything new for me, so I wanted Clefable a lot in this draft. That ended up getting picked about 5 picks before me, I believe. I don't remember who exactly got him. I think it was, I don't remember, but anyways, we got Mega Doncy instead. Offensively, it is better than Clefable. Obviously, you don't have to set up and all that, but Clefable gave me a Stealth Rocket right from the beginning. It gave me a good wall to go along with Celesteela. They meshed really nice together, so that was something I wanted to have. But after looking at it for a while, Mega Deontay is really nice. It gave me a really good support on not having to go for hazards right from the beginning, like or hazard control, I should say, like Defog and Spinners right away. It's because I get a Magic Bounce user, so that right away was, in my opinion, really, really nice. And obviously you have to make it first turn, so it's like not really, doesn't really matter there. So I don't know why these stats are here, by the way. But anyways, that's Mega Deontay. Stat-wise, it's ridiculous. I have 110 speed when it's Mega. Obviously insane. It can be mixed attacking very nicely. It can be a good pivot as well with its defenses, even after Mega Evolving. So it's really solid there. And as far as move pool goes, it also has really strong fairy stat being like Moonblast and stuff, and then rock moves being like Diamond Storm, and then it gets Power Gem in this generation as well, so that's really nice. And coverage moves like Psychic and stuff is really nice. It does get Stealth Rock as well. Don't know how often I'll run that, but it can be a Cleric as well. Shower Ball, don't ever know when you'd run that. It gets Earth Power and stuff as well. Calm Mind, so really solid there. There's probably some different tactical moves down here I probably won't go into too much, but Mega Deontay was my second pick. And like after picking that, right from the beginning. I was like kind of regretting it a little bit, but after going over it for a while, I'm actually really excited to use this thing. So we'll see what I can do with it. Anyways, going into my round 3 pick, this is probably the most questionable pick in my draft, but I'll try to break it down as best as I can for you guys. Basically, coming in 3rd round, I wanted a ground type just because it was nice to pair with Celesteela. Also gets rid of that electric weakness right away, and getting rid of Celesteela's weaknesses are pretty nice considering it has only 2, being fire and electric. And if you're able to get rid of its weaknesses in your draft pretty fairly, then Celesteela can do some nice things for you. And with that being said, I picked up Dugtrio. Obviously, it's not a bulky switch-in, so like it's not like a ground type switch-in that can come in on electric types easily. Obviously, Arena Shop's there, and it's nice for that. But the main reason I picked this thing is because with the first 2 months on my team being Celesteela and Megadon, Dugtrio was a very good thing to come in and revenge kill some of the threats for those things, or even if I want to pull some like really like nice doubles and stuff, Dugtrio can handle some of the mons that Megadon and Celesteela have trouble with. That being said, Celesteela has trouble with fire types and electric types to begin with. As typing wise, Dugtrio can trap most of those. Megadon has trouble with like steel types. Dugtrio can trap most of those. So get some damage off on some of those mons, weaken them down, cripple them down to the point where Dugtrio can come in on them. And I have some really cool ideas. I know Dugtrio is really frail and stuff, but I have some really cool ideas how I can work around with my Dugtrio and stuff this league. So we'll see how I can work out. Obviously, I'm not going to go too much into depth like I talked about, but that is that. Anyways, coming into my 4th pick, this is where I wanted to get my grounded poison and probably toxic spike user. So I was looking at a few things like Nidoqueen and what was it? Nidoqueen and Scolipede. Those were 2 I really wanted from the beginning, but those got picked up. Those were really nice picks. Nidoqueen's something I like in drafts a lot, so that's something I've had before. But anyways, coming down to it, there's 2 mons I was thinking about. That being between Tentacruel and Roserade. You guys can already see what I picked, but the reason I wanted Tentacruel was stuff like Rapid Spin. It had a very nice special defense stat, which was nice because it didn't put too much pressure on like Celesteela to be my main specially defensive wall right away, which was nice. Give me that next electric weakness, which I was kind of like fearing a little bit since Dugtrio is my ground type at the moment. So I went with Roserade. The main reason being it got both spike options, being T-spikes and regular spikes. It does not get the hazard removal option like Tentacruel does, but I kind of like Roserade for the fact that it's a little bit slower, which isn't good, but it gets a lot more special attack. So in my opinion, that's pretty nice because it doesn't play as passive as something like a Tentacruel would. And Technician boosted hidden powers are just nice in general, so that's really good. And then move slots, it gets really solid moves as well, being like grass coverage, it gets Giga Drain, Leaf Storm. Obviously, like I was talking about, hidden powers are really nice with Technician. Leak Seed can be an option, both spike options if I want to run like a suicide lead. This thing can be bulky as well. It definitely can be with 105 special defense, and obviously the HP and defense aren't there, but it can definitely take a couple hits. And good coverage moves being Dazzle and Gleam, and then even stuff like Shadow Ball is nice, so it's cool there. Census is good recovery. It even gets Swords Dance. I don't think I can pass that into anything because you don't get like Baton Pass or anything, but that is Roserade anyways. Definitely something I'm excited to try out, and yeah. Coming into my 5th pick, guys, this was time for me to pick up my bulky water. And with that being said, I wanted just a pure mono-type water. And what better mon to go with than Suicune at the time? It still being there at the 5th round was pretty exciting for me, honestly. Seeing like people like Gypsy King and other leagues and stuff use this thing like crazy effectively, and like, I mean, obviously I'm probably not going to be as good as I'm using it, but I'm going to try my best to use this thing to my full ability. I know I can, but Suicune's very nice. Obviously, stat-wise, it distributes really nice between HP defense and special defense, but its special attack does not lag far behind at all, as well as its speed. So, Suicune's gonna be one of those mons that every week where speed creeping for my opponents are going to be, they're going to keep in mind that Suicune is there because Suicune can run any speed at any like match. So it's really nice there. And obviously, the ability pressure is nice if I'm ever in like a stall fest, which is really good. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Move pool obviously pretty shallow, but it's not a problem for Suicune. As sets like Sub Protect is an option, Sub Calm Mind is there, Scald is an option. Obviously, it's always gonna be ran on this thing. If I'm ever running a single move, it'll be Scald more than likely. I guess Tailwind is a really nice option. I like that a lot. Toxic's obviously there. It's a good mon for Toxic. It gets Roar, so it can phase out setup sweepers, which is always good. I guess extra Sensory, I guess, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean that's basically Suicune. It doesn't do much like move slot wise, but it's very good at what it does originally, which is like cripple down other walls, set up late game, potentially get sweeps, burn PP on the opposing Pokemon, so I like that a lot in Suicune. And coming into my 6th Mon, guys, I still don't have a hazard removal Mon, and I do have both. I do have all my hazards being Stealth Rocks, Toxic Spikes, and Spikes being between Mega Dynasty, Dugtrio, Roserade, and I wanted to add another one of my Stealth Rockers, so I picked up Gligar. And obviously, I was talking about hazard removal. I do add a Defogger this way, which is very nice. I wanted to pick up another ground type, basically. Don't put all the pressure on Dugtrio to switch in on electric types. Gligar is very nice here because its only weaknesses are ice and water. I believe that's it off the top of my head. Yeah, that's it. But anyways, I can cover those very nicely with a couple of Mons. Obviously, electric types, like I said, I can switch between my Gligar and Dugtrio between them. And I do have other options later in this draft, you'll see. Kind of work around that. But anyways, I do like Gligar a lot here. Never use this thing in draft league format. But move slot wise, I was actually pleasantly surprised by a couple things it got. I forgot, honestly. It can baton pass. It can baton pass. Oh, that's up here, I believe. Yeah, it can baton pass, which is really nice. I guess things like agility and swords dance, which is definitely going to be interesting, as well as tailwind if I ever want to try to set up with a late game with something. U-turn out, which is very nice. It gets from reliable recovery being roost. It's really nice there. So I mean, it can just be a very defensive mod as well, which I like a lot about it. And I think it'll be very important to my core as well, because I think Suicune Celesteela is very nice, and obviously that huge electric weakness is there. Gligar can kind of patch it up for us. So that's really nice, guys. That is my first 6 picks in the draft, and I'll go ahead and get to my next 5. That being said, my 6th pick coming in, I guess it was time for me to pick up that Psychic type, and this thing still sitting there, Cresselia, was really nice. I'll go ahead and go into the points afterwards, guys. I can't remember all the points off the top of my head, but I do have a sheet laid out with every single Mon with the points and all that, so I'll go ahead and get into that in a second. But with that being said, I picked up Cresselia. Levitate ability is nice. It is nice to have. Takes a little bit of pressure off Mega Dynasty, and just like, obviously I do have Gligar and Celesteela, but it is nice to have at least one Levitate Mon, so that is nice. Cresselia coming in here. And obviously it adds to my bulk, being 120 HP, 120 defense, and 130 special defense, with the special attack's not obviously great, but it gets great setup moves, being Calm Mind and stuff like that, so I guess just Calm Mind mainly. If that's the one I can think of off the top of my head. Might get something down here that I'm not thinking of, but I won't go too much into it. Item-wise, I can think of a boatload of items I can go into this thing. Obviously, the basic ones like leftovers and stuff, and like maybe certain berries, but I definitely have other hidden techs in mind that I don't want to share at the moment, but I'll definitely let them go to good use. I guess things like Lunar Dance, which is really good. I can definitely set up Psycho Shift. I believe it gets Psycho Shift, which is really cool. Actually, transfer the user's status element into the target. So that's a really nice option right there. Gets good coverage moves. Ice Beam's even very nice. Energy Ball's cool. So stuff like that's really going to be nice to face off against my opponents. So not really too much else I can say about Cresselia. It's really nice. I like it a lot, so that's that. And coming into my, what is this, my 8th? Yeah, that's my 8th pick. I wanted to pick up my Wishpasser finally, and it was between this and Audino. Audino was a lot cheaper, but looking at some of the comparisons, I liked Licky Licky a lot better, just for some of the things it could do, but we'll go ahead and get into it. Licky Licky, first off, I picked it because of its shiny. No, I mean, its shiny is pretty nice. Probably going to bring that every week, but I bring it, so. We got Licky Licky here. I'll go ahead and nickname him once I get my first week's battles, guys. I still haven't even thought about nicknames yet, so that's something I have to keep in mind. Ability-wise, I haven't looked too much into him, but obviously it gets Cloud9, which is really nice. There's a couple weather teams in this league, so I'm going to keep that in mind. Oblivious is really cool. Don't really think that'd be coming in handy with this one too much. But on tempo can also be cool, I guess. Cloud9's mainly nice for it there, but stat-wise, it gets obviously nice stats. HP will be in 110, and the defenses being 95 each, with 85 attack stat, so it's definitely not a passive mod at all, with moves like Dragon Tail can phase out Shadow Sweepers again, so my walls right now being stuff like Licky Licky, Suicune, Cresselia, stuff like that, like, they're not exactly like passive walls, like, they can definitely like just set up in your face, or they can phase you out. They have great coverage. I like that a lot with my walls so far. And stuff like Power Whip is really nice too. It gets Swords Dance even down here. But the main reason I picked up, like I was talking about, is my Wish Passer. And Wish Passing with Licky Licky is going to be nice to certain mons on my team, being that I have a pretty bulky team so far, and that's what I love about it. So it also gets disabled. That can be pretty cool, I guess. But that's Licky Licky anyways. It's a normal type, first normal type on the team. We haven't stacked up on any weaknesses so far. The end of my draft, I do kind of stack up on the ground type weakness, you'll see. But I do cover that fairly well, I think, throughout this draft. I'm not too worried about that. Anyways, coming into my 9th pick, I picked up a second poison type, which I was a little questionable about. But looking at it, it doesn't share any of the same weaknesses with my other poison types, so I like that there. And the main reason I picked up Drapion was because of its dark typing. Dark typing is something that I feel like is pretty necessary in Draft League format. And coming down to it, there wasn't many great ones left. I know there's stuff like Sharpedo and I can't remember the rest of the stuff, but like Sharpedo was something I had an eye on. And then I actually wanted to go with Drapion at the end. It gives me another T-Spike user, which is really nice. I kind of wanted to take it up from other people wanting it maybe as well, so that was another reason I picked it up. It can be very nice offensively as well. It gets 90 base attack with obviously pretty nice speed, so that's nice there. I can definitely run it offensively. I thought about running this and another Mon as my Z-Mon user, but I'll go ahead and explain the Z moves, how they work later in the game. It gets Whirlwind is another option, which is nice. Again, setup supers once again. Gets Swords Dance plus Agility, that can be nice there. Obviously, Knockoff is a good stab. It's obviously very nice to just have Knockoff in general. Poison Jab's good. I believe you get Cross Poison as well. Yep. So that's nice there. Just good coverage moves in general. Kind of reminds me of maybe a knockoff Scolipede. Obviously, the type wise, it's a little bit different, but I do enjoy this Mon a lot, and this is my first time using it in Draft League format, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and continue into the ground type weakness pattern right here. Picking up Darmanitan, so obviously it gives me a third ground weakness at the moment. I'm not too worried about it, like I said. Darmanitan, I wanted a fire type. I still had a lot of points up to this point, so with that being said, I picked up Darmanitan. So Darmanitan's really nice. Obviously, Sheer Force explains for itself. 1.3 times multiplies the power, so that's insane. With it stacked on top of its 140 attack stat, 95 speed. This thing can be so scary as a Choice Scarf user. Even if it's not, like, it can still tear through other opposing teams' walls. So it's ridiculous there. Might even bring Zen mode 1 week. Who knows? Who knows, man? So, anyways, up to this point, I noticed one thing my team was lacking pretty badly, and that was momentum. Between U-turn and Volt Switch. I did have Baton Pass on my Gligar, that was it though. But U-turn on Darmanitan is going to be nice for certain things, just in this league, because obviously Flare Blitz scares a lot of different things out, which is super nice. I could even run Fire Punch some weeks, if I ever want to run like maybe even a bulkier set sometime. But it gets good coverage moves, being Stone Edge, Zen Headbutt, stuff like that. Even, I believe Grass Knot, I wanted to say Grass Knot hit like physically, I don't know, maybe this is on the physical side or something. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but we get Earthquake and stuff like that as well. Superpower down here, which is really nice. So Darmanitan is just a hard-hitting wall breaker, which I kind of need on this team, to be honest. I'm a little, like I said, my team's not passive or anything, but it is, it has trouble wall breaking, I guess, but it was nice to pick up Darmanitan here. It kind of helped with that, so I'm really surprised it was still in there in the first place, so I'm glad about that. And moving into my last pick, I had a couple points left, and I could go ahead and pick up either between an electric type or a fighting type. I was looking between this and Primeape. Primeape ended up getting picked up a couple picks before me, so it made my pick a lot easier. It gave me my fourth ground weakness between Drapion, Darmanitan, Manectric, and Mega Diancie. But like I said, I have 3 immunities to it. I don't have any resist, which is actually kind of surprising. But I have 3 immunities, being Gligar, Cresselia, and Celesteela. So I'm not too worried about my ground weakness there. I'm not going to bring every single one of my ground weaknesses every single week, so that's not a threat. Not too worried about it. But I could have picked between Manectric or Raichu, which was 2 I was looking at. Raichu might have got picked right before me as well, but I wanted Manectric in the whole run. The reason I was thinking about Raichu is it got a base speed of 110, which is a little bit faster than Manectric, so that being that was nice. Manectric could hit harder, and I like Manectric a little bit better for coverage-wise, being that he got stuff like Overheat and Flamethrower, which is super good, considering Steel types are pretty prominent in this league. And that's very nice. And it gives me a Volt Switch user, which, like I said, my momentum was pretty poor, but pairing these 2 at the end was very nice, I figured. Gives me 2 pretty fast momentum users right here, which is nice. Obviously, besides the fire and electric stab, it doesn't get much, but it can run hidden powers pretty effectively. And just having a nice momentum electric type is nice in the first place. But anyways, guys, that is my 11 picks in the draft. I'm going to go ahead and hop over to... Actually, I'll show you this first. This is the whole draft association of coaches. This is all the coaches in the league right now. If you can see right here, this is me. I'm the Atlanta Bravebirds for this season. You'll see on the thumbnail for the video, though. And, yeah, coming into it, you're going to see the yellow box right here. It does not show over here. Like, over here it shows your normal pick is the green box, your mega pick is the light blue, and then your free agency is, like, if you pick up free agents, it'll become purple boxes on your team, essentially. So, but anyways, what the yellow box means is that is your Z-Mon user. So, for example, if you see one of the teams down here, like, the Winter's Weavile, he has Noivern and Moltres as his Z-move users, being the yellow boxes. That is because he can have 2, because he has 2 mons that are under 10 points. Noivern being only 8 points and Moltres being 6 points means he can select up to 2 as his Z-mon users. If you want to pick something like on his team, for example, Tapu Fini is, or let's say Scolipede, that makes more sense. But Scolipede being a Z-mon user at 14 points, he can only select that. So I guess going into it, he wanted to run 2 Z-mon users, a little bit harder to predict. So he has Noivern and Moltres. Like I said, 8 and 6 points allows him to do that. You look over here at my team, I had a couple options to run. My under 10 point Pokemon were Gligar, Licky, Drapion, and Manectric. So for a while, I was thinking about using Drapion and Manectric as my Zmon users. But really looking into it, the reason I picked Celesteela from the beginning was it's just so nice with Z moves, and it can be very unpredictable at times with it, coverage-wise. So I liked it there, and obviously it's 16 points, so I got to choose only one Mon as my Zmon user, and I was okay with that. Celesteela being my Zmon user, so that's what the yellow boxes are. And obviously the light blue, like I said, were Megas. And here's the points. So the points worked. You have obviously Celesteela being 16 points, Mega Diancie being 17, Ductrio being 14, Roserade being 11, Suicune being 12, Gligar being 7, Cresselia being 12, Licky being 7, Drapion being 8, Darmanitan being 12 at the end. That's why I said I was a little surprised, because this was the order I selected him in, and then Manectric being 3 points. So my total points remaining were 1 point right here. I could have picked the Raichu, which was 4 points, if I wanted to round it out to 0, but like I said, Manectric sounded a little bit better. And guys, this was the Atlanta Bravebirds draft analysis video, and like you can see, I set up a little bit of chart over here. It's a really cool chart I like setting up. So basically what I did is I went through all the HP stats, all the attack stats, all the just stats in general, threw up my Pokemon, and I wanted to add out what the total would be and the average for my team, just to kind of see what it would look like. It's not necessary, but it's just something I want to do. I just really enjoy stats, so that's that. My highest stat ended up being my attack stat throughout my whole team, so you can see like Darmanitan really helped at the end, Mega Diancie obviously with 160, made my total end up being 1,041. So what you have to do is you just take all these, add them all together, and then divide by 11, because that's how many Pokemon I have, and it averaged out to be a 95 attack stat, which is really nice. Defense is really even between 90 and 89 is my average. Special attack a little bit lower, being 83, but I think I'll be okay with wall breaking capabilities being like Roserade, and Mega Diancie should be pretty good. And the average speed was an 89. I've done these charts before, so an average speed of 89 is actually pretty solid. I consider anything at 85 or higher for speed really nice, so 89 is pretty good. But that, guys, is going to be my Atlanta Bravebirds for the PSA league, and I'll try to get my week 1 matchup. I don't know exactly when I'll get it up. The league should be starting basically anytime, so I'll go ahead and try to get that up as soon as possible, I guess. We played, actually, I'll go back to the team I show you we play. It's funny, we're playing this guy I was just talking about, the Winter's Weavile. We play him week 1, so I'll have to watch out for those Zmon users like I was talking about, and I'll go ahead and prepare for his team off screen. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and this is Crypto, and I'm out. Peace.